this is Rachel from 7 and All, and today I'm going to be taking you with me on a huge decluttering of my home. Our family has the tradition, and I'm sure many other families also have a tradition of doing a lot of decluttering before Christmas comes. We call it the pre-Christmas clean out. That's exactly what it is. And I do tend to consider myself, and I call myself on here, more of a minimalist mom, a minimalist homekeeper. And you'll see, for me, minimalism is not necessarily about having everything that's fashionable and everything that matches each other. I tend to run a pretty mismatched home. But my goal with minimalism is to have in my house exactly the things that I enjoy and that I use, that my family enjoys and uses, and not a lot of clutter that just makes our days more difficult and more stressful to spend a lot of time cleaning up things all the time. So that is my motivation in having less stuff. Now, we also, as everybody does, tend to collect things throughout the year. They show up. You know, McDonald's toys from Happy Meals and stuff like that. So we're going to be going through little by little, getting a lot of decluttering done. And you can join me and you can see how many things I find. I'm going to try to do a count.
Helmet.
That's your helmet. You need that, right? You need that. That's a nice helmet. Can you put it on your head? On your face? Okay, so I'm tackling the shoes. And these ones definitely have to go. Here I'm working on decluttering my little 3-level cart. I know a lot of people really like to use these for like homeschooling supplies or art supplies, but I actually just use mine for my personal accessories, belts and hair accessories and jewelry and the like. You can see my little buddy is really helping me here. So I was going through, finding any jewelry that was broken or missing jewels or rusty, because we have very humid weather and things just get really kind of tarnished over time, the cheap, costume metal jewelry. And my first rule of decluttering is that I always keep a rag with me, because usually everything you find is dusty when you're decluttering. So I did a lot of dusting as I was going through this cart. And, accessorizing the baby also happens when you are decluttering. But went through the cart, got rid of anything that just wasn't working for me anymore. So my scarves have dust on the top of them, which is not a good sign as far as saving, but I usually use scarves for like going traveling, so in airports or in the movie theater or somewhere like that, and we have not been able to do that in 2020, so I'm not gonna toss any scarves. I'm gonna hope that someday I will need to use these again. This I have never worn. It was a hand-me-down. And I'm just really not a sleeveless blouse type. I thought I would try it out. But I got this at the beginning of my pregnancy with my second son, and I haven't worn it yet, and he's a year old. Same thing, sleeveless. It's just not my style. These kind of blousey sleeveless stuff. If I wear a tank top, I don't know. I don't want a fancy one. And another one. Well, my biggest weakness with holding on to clothes is hand-me-downs. There's something tricky about that for me. I'm pretty good at not buying clothes that I'm not totally in love with or totally sure are going to work for me. But if somebody gives them to me for free, then I tend to hold on to them probably too long, thinking maybe I can make this work. But then sometimes you just got to be honest with yourself and what you like to wear, and don't hold on to clothes that you don't actually enjoy wearing. You can kind of tell I do use the vertical folding method for my clothes. It's a little messy here at the beginning, but went through that and got my drawer more orderly. Found a couple pairs of earrings that just weren't for me anymore. And then here, these drawers in our bookshelf tend to be a bit of a catch-all. We kind of have a system. My husband has one drawer, I have one drawer, and then I have two that are kind of, I guess, our equivalent of a linen closet, and have a lot of, you will see, random household useful items. I like the drawers because it's kind of nice to keep these not that appealing and attractive items inside a drawer that you can't see into. But then the trick of a drawer that you can't see into is you do have to go through it once in a while and find out what is in there. And I was surprised by some of the things I found and some of the things that I was like, oh, I didn't remember we still had these. This is why it's good to declutter. Now, our apartment has 3 bedrooms, and we use the third little bedroom, smallest bedroom, as a kind of office space, which is where we have that big bookshelf and our tables where our computers sit. And then it has a built-in wardrobe. So because we only have the hanging rack of clothes in our bedroom, then we keep the more kind of usually dressy clothes or work clothes in here in this hanging wardrobe. So I'm going through seeing what I don't need to keep anymore. You can tell that the bottom of the wardrobe is pretty full with bags right now. That's actually pretty temporary. That is Christmas gifts for various people in the family. All right, well, I am pretty happy with the results of my epic clean out. I got interrupted with making dinner, you know, people always want to eat and that kind of thing. But then I continued after that through the different rooms of the house, and now I'm going to try to do a count. I am sorting things. I've got a trash bag here. I always basically like to keep bags from shopping or from different things to use for trash bags so that I don't always have to like buy trash bags. Keep it a little bit more efficient. Then I've got a bag here, so this will be stuff I'm taking to my parents' house, which is either stuff that belonged there in the first place or that I'm taking to them just in case. Maybe my little sisters might want something before I toss it. And here I've got a bag for clothes that are going to go for just total recycling, as in recycling the fibers. And I usually take clothes to H&M for recycling because that's the best option I know of around here. But I do think that there's better options, but always keep that in mind for clothes that aren't worth like donating or being worn again as hand-me-downs, but you don't necessarily want to totally throw away. There are some recycling options, They're not perfect, but that's an option at least. Okay, so I've got, let's try to do a count. They always do counts in these videos, and I'm curious how many things. So here's a shirt. The shirts I'm going to send to my sisters just in case. I'm not really thinking that they'll love any of these, but maybe. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and all of this is my clothes that just weren't really getting worn at all. There's nothing wrong with them. They're in good condition. They just don't fit right, or they're just really not my style. 7, okay, we got, let's call this 8, pair of hairpins, just not something I've ever worn actually. 11-ish, more hair bobs. I think the 9-year-old might look really cute with this one. 3 pairs of earrings, an old golden belt. Where are we up to now? I'm gonna say roughly 12, belt 13, like a dress up headband 14, couple of kind of like small size lip glosses in colors that are too dark for me, and also probably too dark for the girls, but I thought they might want them kind of for dress up type of thing, maybe. Totally forgive me if these numbers don't seem to add up very much. Couple old bows, maybe for dress up. 20. Oh, these are all actually for trash. These, the elastic has gone out of these. A pair of shoes, and I think I showed you the elastic had gone out of these, which is a bummer. I've had them, I don't know, maybe 3 years, Crocs. They didn't last super long. I've actually kept them probably like 6 months, I don't know, waiting, hoping that the elastic would shrink again. I don't think that works that way. These are trash, missing a bead. These are very tangled, and I was gonna untangle them, but then I was like, well, the chains are really kind of rusty and they're not that great, just old cheap pendants, so tossing those. I'm gonna guess we're at 25. Here's like an old paint shirt. You do need to keep some scrubby t-shirts, but you do not need to keep all scrubby t-shirts. That's one of my best pieces of decluttering advice. Here's a bow, but it's kind of dingy, not great looking, so I'm just gonna toss that one. Here's a bracelet. I thought one of my sisters might like to keep it for the charms. The leather part of it is starting to come apart, but maybe they might like the charms for making jewelry with, so I'll see if they want it. Another hair bob for them. What are we, maybe 27? Here's a tiara that's kind of broken. I'll see if they want that for dress up. 28, trash. 29, trash. This is a lantern from Cyrus's first Lantern Festival. Some neighbors took pity on us at Lantern Festival and gave him a lantern because he didn't have one. And I kept it in case of using it again this year, but there was no Lantern Festival because there was no celebration of it here because there's been nothing. And then I think probably by next year you might want something different than a Disney Princess lantern, so we're not going to keep that. Oh, maybe roughly 30. Okay, old scribbled in notebook. 31. Here's an old notebook that I used to write all my lesson plans in when I was teaching in China. Old shirt of the boys, but it's so cracked right now. It bothers me every time he wears it, so I figure might as well get rid of it, and I'll send that to recycling. 32 or so old puzzle pieces. I think like this puzzle is missing a couple pieces, and I think at some point I was thinking to do some kind of craft project with the pieces, and I don't know, and I'm not inspired to do that. Old ribbon, piece of a broken crayon. What do we got? Maybe 35. I've got 2 sheets here. This one, the elastic is totally out, and I know it can be fixed, but I don't need this sheet, don't particularly like it. This sheet is super plasticky feeling. It's not fun to sleep on. This was something I bought here. I did not know. It was really cheap. I did not know. Avoid the cheap sheets. That is a good life lesson to learn. I think I will put those both to recycling. 30, let's say 39, 40. boys' shorts. The elastic has gone out. You'll see this is a common theme in our stuff. Something about the climate here just destroys elastic. You can see it here. After a couple years, anything with elastic in it is just gone. This is like for the ergo carrier. I could probably fix it by putting in new elastic, but it lasted through 2 kids. They're not drooling on our ergo anymore. And probably if we ever need one again, I can just get another one. So tossing that one, 40-ish, 41. These came with our blender, one blender that died and one blender we still have. Extra things, not the normal cup. We've never used these in all these years, so I'm gonna get rid of them. Some flyers, some expired membership cards. What, 44? This is not for throwing away. This goes to my parents' house. That's their toy. I'm always saving food containers for the boys to play with in their kitchen, but then I just gradually got to get rid of them. Can't keep all of them. A bunch of lids or pieces to cups, sippy cups that I don't use these kind of lids, so there's no reason to keep them. And baby bottle, not going to keep this. This was Glenn's baby bottle, and then I just was saving it when I first transitioned him to a sippy cup just in case he might rebel or something, but he has taken to a sippy cup quite well. And this looks disgusting because it's been saved in the cupboard for a while. I'm gonna toss that. This I'll send to my sisters, see if they want it. I haven't used this in a long time, and I'm not 100% sure the pencils still work. I don't know if this happens in your climate, but colored pencils here eventually stop working and get too old, even like when you sharpen them. It's kind of weird. Tropics, super old mascara. That's trash. That's like, seriously, probably 4 years old. I have a new one, don't worry. These things, I don't know where we're at. 50s, 60s, roughly. Oh, we've got a mug that has a really big chip off of it, and it's not fun to drink with. So I'm getting rid of that. An old baby toothbrush because he's graduated to a real toothbrush. This I'm pretty sure belongs to my parents, so I'm returning it to their house. And this I found, and I'm gonna bring it to the girls for them to use for their Chinese lessons and practice. Thought it'd be more useful there. So that is all a bunch of stuff. I don't know. I was 100% a bad counter on this. I don't know. You think we made it to 100 if we counted piece by piece? Probably. I was. I'm not used to this counting thing. How do you keep track? If you've ever decluttered on YouTube, how do you keep track? All right, thanks for watching. See ya and Merry Christmas. Let me know in the comments, do you do a pre-Christmas clean out in order to make room for new and exciting things, and also kind of as an excuse to clean up your house, which probably needs it? All right, make sure you like this video and do subscribe to our channel for more from the 7 in All family. Bye!